So I can't lie, man, it's definitely been a minute. I had to kind of like clean up this room a little bit before I had to shoot this video, but I do actually have some pretty good fashion trends. I have a pretty big list here, or a decent sized list of actual pieces, brands that are trending, and also some fashion news that also might be trending right now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start this video. It's your boy Keezy. It ain't easy being Keezy. Let's get it. It's weird on camera. Oh, see, now it's now it's crooked, bro. I think it's gonna look crooked no matter what. So by starting off this video, I'm gonna bring up this brand first, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the name because either it's really easy to pronounce and or I'm just going to butcher it. But if you guys are not familiar with what this brand is, this is, I believe it's a Japanese-based brand, and if maybe they have more than one location, I'm not sure. But what they do is they take vintage Levi's, again, much like many other brands are doing right now, except what they do is they distress it and then they put like a bandana behind it, or as far as what I've seen them do, or their handmade reworked denim, that's what they do. They put these bandanas behind them, and let me tell you, they are fire. They're done very well. I mean, anything handmade in Japanese, I mean, when has there ever been a time where it's handmade and Japanese that's like that it's not good, right? But jokes aside, I really do like how this brand reworks this type of denim. And short story, the first time I saw this brand was actually from Tony from Fine Hidden at Santa Ana. And if you watch my previous LA vlog, I went down to Southern California. I happened to stop by Hidden, which was an archive store based out there. And they happened to show me this piece. But at the time, there was so many pieces all over the place. And I wanted to check out and see everything that they had. And I just kind of wanted to like gather it all in and just learn a little bit more about archive fashion. And then on my way back home, I was like, man, that jacket kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie, that jacket kind of hard. So I started looking up the prices on Grailed and whatnot. And then of course the prices are very high, right? Japanese, handmade, bumps up the price, you know, resale up to 1000%. It was already at like $2,000, somewhere around there. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll pump the brakes on this and I'll come back to it. I love it, but right now, I don't know. And then I started checking Instagram and whatnot, and I've seen a lot of people starting, not either to put it on, but more people talking about it, more people posting it. There's even other brands that are collaborating with it at this point. And then I went back to Grail, checked the resale prices, and then they just keep going up. They just keep going up. And then I'm like, man, I shot myself in the foot on that one because I'm like, bruh, I actually like this. I really like it. I like it per piece, not like together where you have top and bottom bandanaed out. I'd rather either just like wearing the denim pants and or I like either having that jean jacket or whatnot. I'm just saying, man, I wouldn't mind one, you know what I mean? But now it has a feeling as if right now it's kind of being hyped up. Maybe not everyone knows about it. If you check their following, at the time that I made this video or filming it, it's around like 20 to 25,000 followers per se. So it kind of feels a little bit more on the underground side, but yet it's emerging and it's growing right now. And you know, with the whole trend of Japanese Americana and everybody being into Japanese Americana somehow, they're going to eat this up. I feel it. This is like one of those things that's just going to blow up even bigger than as it is right now. But that said, I don't want to go too much farther into it, but if you have a chance, check them out. This is definitely a trending brand as we speak. Let's move on to number 2. So like I said in the beginning of the video, we're going to talk about looks, we're going to talk about trending topics and or brands. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is going to be NFTs. This is something I haven't really looked into entirely, so I probably am not the best person to explain it. But as far as I understand what an NFT is, it is a non-fungible token. I saw some YouTubers talking about this about 6 months ago, and they were like, oh, this is gonna be the next biggest thing. And honestly, it's definitely trending, and it definitely got a lot of people, a lot of top influencers. Maybe influencer was the wrong word. I get maybe public figures within the space of streetwear and or fashion talking about NFTs, and a lot of it does make sense. One person that is championing this whole idea of NFTs a lot definitely has to be Bobby Hundreds himself. Shout out to Bobby Hundreds. I love a lot of his work. I love his brand. I also love his book, by the way. But yeah, he's definitely jumped into the whole NFT thing, and I've heard a little bit about him talking about it, and I understand that maybe for someone like myself or people that are older than me, we might not necessarily look at NFTs right away and jump right into it, but anybody that's after me, whether it be Gen Z or anybody even after Gen Z, NFTs is going to be a no-brainer, right? I mean, if you even look at the whole Bitcoin situation or cryptocurrency, and then that transferring over to the idea of acceptance for NFTs is going to be really easy, because also within fashion, it is kind of an overconsumption of goods. That's why a lot of people hate the whole fast fashion route and whatnot. But you know, if you're going to invest your money into something and you want it to grow, sometimes it might be better for you not to even own the actual physical item itself. Maybe you should invest into a non-fungible token, like a digital copy anyways. And also there's ways for you to make money. Now, how you can immediately make money off of NFTs, that's where I'm lost. Or maybe it's not about making immediate money and it's more so for long term and it's for the longevity of it. Financially. And not only Bobby Hundreds, there's also another Instagram page I believe called Archive Dreams, and they're doing some type of like t-shirt NFT thing right now. But you know, I feel like the time that people are talking about NFTs at the moment is the same thing as when Bitcoin probably first started, and like people were like, invest in Bitcoin, and then like people were like, no, I'm not gonna do that, and then Bitcoin went like through the roof, you know. And then who knows, I guess maybe NFTs might be the same way, and if not, maybe NFTs are actually through the roof right now. Again, I probably need to look up more information on it, but as far as a trending topic, totally trending per the moment, so maybe I'll try to look more into that. So Kanye West, face masks. Yes. Yeah. I almost didn't put this on the list. And we've kind of been seeing Kanye before Donda, like, you know, anytime before this man drops an album, he ends up just like showing his face somehow, like multiple times. Like he just gets seen by paparazzi like 24/7, whether it be for marketing, probably for that, right? But he's been wearing this mask, and he's also been wearing this mask. This one I can care less for, but this one is fire. Correct me if I'm wrong, this actually might be a Margiela mask, and I have been seeing maybe Kanye stans or just, you know, the fans that are kind of like remaking these and putting these together. I don't know if I'm gonna have a good photo example for you here, but I can tell you, you know, ever since he did it, obviously, you know, people are gonna put it. I mean, for Christ's sake, Kanye could wear a trash bag. It doesn't matter. In fact, his last jacket looks like a trash bag. And you know, a lot of people probably bought it. It's on pre-order right now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I actually do like the mask that has like the little holes in it. We have obviously seen people like Travis Scott wear it and whatnot. I'm surprised there hasn't been more and more brands kind of adopting this style, because obviously because of COVID. Wait, to be real, that actually is not going to protect you from COVID. It's probably more so of a fashion statement than anything else. But regardless though, there has been many creative ways people have been putting masks together, and this being one of them. Yee. So next up we got work jackets, and quite possibly a lot of people are like, bro, you are so late to talk about this, but might I say, it's like a different type of work jacket, and maybe different type meaning that it's kind of bumped more into the higher end sphere, and maybe the higher end brands are a little bit late to it. But in this past like year and a half, I've seen a lot more brands like Reese Cooper and even Prada that made a jacket on the Met Gala runway that was worn by Frank Ocean, I believe, holding that, or the green baby. Bro, I really want the Prada one. Yeah, I think I brought this up just to say that I want the Prada jacket. I want it. Even though it looks exactly like an Eisenhower. It looks exactly like an Eisenhower with a Prada logo. I know, but probably made out of some kind of, is it like suede or, I don't know what it is. I want one. And I know when it comes out, or if it even is a thing that's coming out, someone put it in the comments and let me know. Is this something that's coming out? Because if it is, bro, sign me up. Sign me up. So, of course, we know work jackets have already been popular. People been wearing the Detroits. People been wearing the Eisenhowers. In fact, it was before it being a fashion statement, before Kanye put it on, I don't even know what award show that was, and then everyone else started copying him and whatnot, or whoever else might have started the trend. Before that, people actually wore these for real purposes and worked in them. But of course, it's been trending over the years. But you know, now I would see it more than ever that there's a lot of higher end brands that are taking on this look, and I am a fan. I love it. I probably will buy into it. Work jackets are like Eisenhower shaped work jackets are like white Air Force Ones. It's like I don't know if it'll ever kind of go out of style. It was never really supposed to be a thing that was supposed to be in style to begin with. But now that it kind of, I don't know. Regardless, I just love it, and we're gonna keep going. All right, so as we transition here, I'm actually gonna bring up flared denim, and I know what you're saying. You're probably like, bro, you've talked about flared denim, you know, too much on the channel and whatever. It's not necessarily flared denim. It's actually the brand gallery department. Apparently, as of 48 hours ago, bro that owns the brand said that he's actually going to be shutting down the whole thing, and it's not aligned with, you know, his vision as far as what he wants to create in the future. So he's just gonna shut it down, which I find crazy because I believe that the brand is peaking right now. I still see a lot of celebs putting it on. I see a lot of influencers putting it on, or whatever it is, people that are public figures that are putting on the gallery department, and it's still popular as all hell. So for him to stop it right now and just like close down the whole business is kind of shocking. And maybe there's going to be some other reasons as to why he's actually shutting it down later. But I actually am personally, I want to know what he's going to do after that. If that what he did in his couple years mark, I don't even feel like it's been around for more than 6-7 years. I think it's a little bit shorter of a time than that. For what he did for the time that he was here as a brand for gallery department, and how much impact and influence it had to other street brands and things like that, if that wasn't in line with what he was trying to do, then I'm curious to see what he's going to do next, because whatever he's got going next is probably going to work, you know, with his experience and things like that in business. So and I understand also that there's two sides of the coin. One side of the coin, when they heard the news, they're probably like, bro, I've been wanting that shit to shut down. Nothing's innovative about the brand, whoop-de-wop, whatever. I mean, bro, like, you can think like that, but I just give more credit where credit is, I think, is due for the brand to be as influential as it was, and then just stopping it. I mean, I think that's pretty impressive, you know, if I were to say the least. It's not easy to own a street brand. I'm just gonna say that, especially a successful one. It's not an easy task. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways. So the next topic I got is actually going to be furniture, but more specifically I believe it's called the Wasili chair or Waisley chair. I'm chopping the name, I already know, but it's this chair right here. And shout out to Brave New Wear. He actually made a video on this like almost a year ago, or maybe even longer. He has like a whole video of the history of it and why it's relevant and its historical significance during that time and why it's so coveted now. And I would definitely go watch that if you have a chance. But I'm just seeing this more. I'm seeing this more on people's YouTube. I'm seeing it more on people's archive pages, their mood board pages. And furniture itself is a very natural integration. You know, people want that, you know, they want a nice fit. They want the full aesthetic. But then, you know, when you come home, and a lot of us being older now, millennials, right? Millennials, Gen Z, like I think the oldest Gen Z now is about 25, somewhere around there. You know, you talk about millennials already hitting mid-30s, maybe even later than that. A lot of us now have places to live. Yeah, we might still be into clothing. You might start out like that hypebeast realm. You're into sneakers. Sneakers got you into clothes. Clothes got you into understanding what streetwear was. Streetwear let you understand and appreciate clothing. And now you move on to fashion. And then the fashion integrates into like, maybe I need my whole life to be an aesthetic. And I need a plant and a tote bag and a book and a desk. And maybe chairs like these that are like, they're artsy and it's something to talk about when you walk in the room, you know? I'm totally kidding. I actually like the chair, and I think my parents used to own this chair way back in the day. I think that's why I recognize it. And again, I'm just seeing a lot more people post about it. So if you can, shout out to Brave New Wear one more time. Go out and check out his video. His breakdown of that actual chair is way better than what I can explain. So yeah. Alright, so Rick Owens obviously is something that I don't cover that on the channel because I don't buy into it, but the piece that has been trending for a while now is definitely the heels, the Rick Owens heels. And you know, what I'm noticing is that a lot of people are in the transitionary phase of like, either you were a part of streetwear and then you got into designer and then you go to that next level and then you want to start jumping into archive or avant-garde. It's like a crossroad for a lot of people. And then if they do happen to go the avant-garde route, they end up getting the heels, you know. And I think a lot of people probably expect me to get up on here and diss the whole style, diss the whole look, but I don't know, I don't really care. In fact, I'm kind of the opposite. If you happen to like these and you really love them, you know, this is like Super Saiyan level 6 Rick Owens, like letting everyone know like I love Rick. You know what I'm saying? If that's you and you're confident with it, and you know you don't care what people say about you, you know what I mean, and you're trying to break out of the mold of what you traditionally wear because you're really into fashion, then boom, that's totally for you. You know, everybody ends up liking something eventually, and you know, I'm all for people that get into a hobby and they go so far into it that they're just like obsessed with it, you know. So there it is. It's definitely a trending item, and it's actually not even new as far as I know. Like, I don't know much about it, but as far as I know, this has been out. This has been out. In fact, Rick already came out with a new one. He got the frog legs. bro got he dropped the frog legs. Or the frog feet. I don't know what those are. They're like gecko. They're like gecko feet. You know what I mean? So unless those aren't new either. Anyways, that's what's hot right now, I guess. You know, and we're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna keep going here. All right, so for this next one, I didn't know how to like title it because I don't know the official name of it, but it's these shorts right here. It's shorts like these, and you're probably like, bro, those are just cargo shorts. Yeah, kind of, but when I think of cargo shorts, I think of cargo shorts that are just like the cargo is on the side, the pockets are on the side. But I think more recently, in the past year and a half, a lot of the pockets have just been in the front. It's like front pockets and like back, and I don't know, I just don't know where it came from. All I know is that a lot of brands started to do it, whether it's ACG, even people like Jacob Wallace. Shout out to Jacob Wallace, Fernando and Trevor and all them. He did a really good job. I actually really like the look, but if you're an avid watcher of Keezy TV, you know that I have this thing with shorts that it's really hard for me to find a good pair of shorts. I admire the people that can wear any pairs of shorts and like they can wear it super high and whatever, they can show the knees and stuff, but for me, I admire it, but I can't. Sometimes I just can't buy into it, and when I do, I look myself in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, that shit ain't working, bro. You're gonna have to return those or resell them or something like that, you know what I mean? But this look in particular, if someone can like fill me in, I wanted to call them fisherman shorts because I don't know the name. They literally look like actual, like if you were to go fishing, that have like all those little mini pockets on them or whatever. But yeah, you know, but the actual title of it aside, there obviously has been other shorts that have been trending too. Another one will be Eric Emanuel. That one is damn popular. In fact, I heard either Kith or Eric Emanuel took the Bape Store's location on Green Street in New York, and you know, bruh sells out every single time. So like that brand right now is like really hot, and including all the other brands that are creating, you know, looks like these. So anyways, one day I will find a pair of shorts that work for me, and when that day comes, you're gonna see a video on it. So depending on when this video drops, and hopefully this this portion of the video is not too late for the topic, and that would be Nigo moving to Kenzo, right? And as we know, Nigo had started with Bape, and you know, it became very successful, him selling off the brand. Then he moved on to be also creative director for Uniqlo, and then I'm not sure if he's actually still a part of that or not. Started Human Made. That brand had flourished over the years, and now it's sold exclusively in Japan. They no longer are doing international sales as far as I understand. And now moving on forward, then he did Louis Vuitton with Virgil, which was a really dope collection. And then now we're seeing it, you know, having Nigo be a part of Kenzo, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never bought into Kenzo, nor have I ever seen any pieces from Kenzo that I actually liked. I do, of course, respect it as a brand that's, you know, more on the higher end side of things. I think it's just going to be really interesting to see what Nigo has to put forth for the brand itself. And maybe, I don't know if he's going to give it a facelift, but apparently Nigo had an association to Kenzo, and it's kind of like paying an homage of him being there. And he's just like literally the most perfect person to be a part of Kenzo. And honestly, there's so much to say about this topic because I mean, you guys see the background here. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Nigo at the end of the day, right? I just think it's nuts. I think it's crazy to see this because when I got into streetwear, and you know, a big contributor of me getting into streetwear was things like Evisu, Red Monkey, getting into Bape. And then when I found Bape and I started wearing it, and I started wearing it religiously, I was one of those kids that was on BapeTalk.com. I was buying Evisu and I was buying Bape on BapeTalk.com. I was seeing like the fit pick, you know, battles and shit like that way back in the day, and enjoying that. And then at that time, streetwear wasn't really accepted. You know what I'm saying? It was looked at as more of like a kid's thing, very urban, very I don't even know the actual words to put there, but it just wasn't accepted as like an actual fashion thing. And here we are, flash all the way forward to 2020 or 2021. And a lot of people giving Nigo and the brand Bape itself from way back then, especially the OG pieces, a lot of praise. It's getting its respect that it always deserved, that we as consumers or as kids when we were younger, we saw that. You know what I mean? Like we saw and appreciated it. And now, you know, people that are maybe even in the higher end realm might be looking at it like, oh, okay, wait, I understand and I recognize what was going on at that time. And Bape and or Nigo actually looked at as a respectable designer at the end of the day. Nigo's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT, bro. He is the GOAT, bro. He's like Johnny Dang. Johnny Dang. Johnny Dang been supplying ice for everybody for years. But Nigo's he's been holding it down for the fashion side. You know what I mean? Hey, you guys see the background back here. You already know I'm going to say something positive about that. Nigo is the GOAT. I know I'm mixing these topics, brands, whatever, but raw denim is literally trending right now. And it feels weird for me to even say that because I feel like I've been preaching this shit for so long. I mean, it hasn't actually been that long. It's been like 3 years. But still, 3 years. You know, like 3 years ago when I started my channel, you know, what was going on was like a lot of the fast fashion, a lot of the minimal. A lot of people were, you know, wearing the fits of like extremely expensive $1,000, $2,000 sneakers, whatever it be, a Balenciaga, the Zara denim or minimal denim or something like that. You know what I mean? And then it would be like an off-white $600 t-shirt and a really expensive hat, or maybe no hat, I don't know. But it's like that balance to me, you know, me growing up and being a part of streetwear during a time where denim was the focus. Like, it was like denim first. Like, you start with the pants, then you figure out the rest of the fit. It wasn't like shoes, then fit. I mean, depending on how you want to do it. But that's just how I was like raised, and that's how I remember it being. So then when I jumped into YouTube, I was like, man, I gotta preach this. I'm not saying I'm the main contributor. Obviously, I'm not. There are many other players in the game. But it's just funny for me to look back now, starting my channel back then, you know what I mean? And then now here we are in 2021, almost the end. I mean, this year is damn near over. And now we got a lot of people buying into it. I'm hearing lots of people talking about Iron Hearts. I'm hearing tons of people talk about 316 or Sugarcane and all these brands that I grew up with. And I love to hear it because raw denim itself, it needed that. It needed more consumers. Has anyone else noticed that when you go to like little raw denim boutiques, they really only cater to like older folk? And when I say older folk, I mean people with like mortgages and kids and like, you know what I mean? They'll be like 35, 40 plus years old. Like this niche community that's really into buying denim for some reason, right? They probably used to ride fixies back in the day or something like that. Like that had been the target market and will probably remain that. But as Japanese Americana creeps in, vintage creeps in, a lot more people are giving appreciation to the raw denim, and I love it, dude. I love it, and I love to hear more people talking about it because it was something that it it was well needed, man. It was well needed. Oh, and besides the fact of people buying more into it, there's actually more brands now making it, which is really dope too. I'm seeing a lot more starter brands, or whether it be starter street brands, that are coming up, and then they're, you know, they've done the cargo thing and whatnot, and now they're, you know, seeing that a lot more people are buying into the denims. They're wanting brand new pairs of raws to either experiment with, have their first pair of raws be with a particular brand, and now they're making selvage denim, which is, it's A1, man. I love it. So if you're watching this, you're just getting into it, or maybe you found my channel and you're like, bro, you're the first reason why I even bought them, whatever. Hey, shout out to you for even watching. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I just, let's keep it going and keep all these other Japanese raw denim brands that have been here for us for years, whether you were into it or not, and show them appreciation and show them love. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's all I got for you, man. I kind of had more. I mean, I wrote down stuff like Fortnite Balenciaga, but like at the end of it, I don't even know if I should even fit that on here. It's like, that's not even surprising. That's not even really news. Like, Balenciaga been doing meme stuff like that. And in fact, that's kind of how they became such a massive brand here in, you know, in this century. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna get into it. But if there's anything here today that you disagreed with, and or I was missing actual information, or you wanted me to talk about in a future video, put them in the comments. And if you can, be a part of our Patreon. A lot of the stuff that I actually talked about here in this video, I already covered on Patreon. And also, if you own a newer streetwear brand, and or maybe even an experienced brand, on my Patreon, I put a lot of information that can help you progress your brand, whether it be finding factories, finding fabrics, and giving you those contacts directly on there if you're a part of the Makers Plus category. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but if you can, check that out. And I'll be back. I have no idea when the next video is. I love y'all. It ain't easy. Peace.